Hello, my name is Ariel Jillian, and welcome to another edition of the Queen's Corner, where we really dive into some uncomfortable truths that I believe need to be talked about. But today we're gonna have a little fun because I am doing a movie review, and I am reviewing the most recent movie that is out on Netflix called Cloned Tyrone. And if you have not watched this movie yet, this is a spoiler alert, so do not watch this. Go watch the movie and then come back and watch this video so we can really talk about this and break down some things that I noticed in the movie and how I really want to kind of make some comparisons and parallel to my life experiences and some experiences that I think you might relate to as well. Okay, so I want to start off first by saying I enjoyed the movie. At first I was a little hesitant because it started out with the drug dealer and the hoe and you know, just real hood like culture to the movie. But as I started to dive deep, I realized how far they went into these characters, and it was definitely genius. The whole movie to me really felt like a daydream. It felt like you were sucked into this reality where everything just kept repeating itself. Like every day was kind of the same feeling. Every huge moment ended up with, you know, a murder or a shot or, you know, something dramatic that happened in that community. And already off the bat, it really felt like our community. You know, it always feels like, you know, if I look at my life and look at certain things, it does feel like it's just like this weird dream where you're walking around like, okay, is someone watching us? Like, what is happening? Because is this just happening to us? Is it just happening to me? Or is everybody experiencing this? You know what I mean? So it really put life into perspective as far as like the dream and always doing the same thing over and over again. So that's the first thing I want to point out. Now the main characters, Fontaine, and then the pimp, which was played by Jamie Foxx, which I thought was very ingenious. So they go down, and Fontaine is having this weird experience where he doesn't know what happened to him. Like his friends say, you were shot yesterday. You're not alive no more. Why are you still here? And so he chases down this rabbit hole and finds a laboratory underneath their hood. And he finds himself cloned. And he just finds all these white researchers researching their community. And the fact that they put that in the movie, now I know it's not truth, right? It's a movie. But true, you know, movies play off of reality, and I really feel like our communities have really gone through this type of experimentation. Like if I really pinpoint what happened to our communities, Black or African American community, Black or African American was really a social experiment. They experimented on our people. They told us who we were. They told us where we came from. They told us what we liked, what we didn't like. And then when we took on these roles, like if we identified as Black or African American, we were denied certain parts of our cult. We were denied certain parts of this land that other people, immigrants, get for free. Okay, when you check Black on, you know, on your census and records like that, or credit, when you first start credit, we start off on a different class because white and Black is a social construct in this land that we're living on right now. And so white people, when you assimilate into white and accept that as your identity, you get certain privileges out of this culture. It's just as what happens. And when you accept that you're Black or African American, you are denied certain privileges. And that's just the way it is, okay? Now, I'm not saying you can't come out of this, because I came out of this, and I know a lot of smart Black people and I say Black people because I know it's still ingrained in us, but it's really American Indian. American Indian people have, by all means necessary, pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps and made it work and made life work for us and made money. But a lot of our community are stuck in certain cycles, and it's very apparent, very apparent. They tell us to get higher education. We do that. We're still not doing well. My father, he had a degree, okay? He had a college degree and struggled his whole life finding a good job, a good career in Seattle. And it wasn't because he was lazy, nothing like that, because he always had a job. I'm like, why aren't we getting nowhere? And I really think that going back to They Cloned Tyrone, that they really showed that there are forces experimenting with us, and they have been. Like, if you don't understand, the early settlers of America, all they did was study. And why would they not study on the people on the that living on the land that they wanted? If anything, they studied us the most. They studied us the most. And they put all these types of things on us. Okay. So I want to bring in something else into perspective, okay? We are a very, very talented people, okay? They've actually named the engine after Indians because we were go-getters, okay? We moved this country forward. But you have to think who's in power now and who has control over certain things like music. We love music, okay? We love it. But who is really in control of these artists that we love so much? And we know it's not our people right now, okay? We love film, we love TV, we love acting, but who is in charge of majority of what's going on right now? Who is able to put out a true voice of us? And so we have to look at these things and really think, like, we have been experimented on. We have really been experimented on. Now, it may not be cloning like the movie, which was very genius, how they at the end, all the communities, they got together, the Blacks got together, the communities, they got together, and they stormed inside the laboratories and just caused havoc and just shut it down, okay? Once they finally realized that they had been lied to and that they were experimented on, they finally came together. And when they came and shut it down, it was so easy. It was natural to them. Because, they fear us coming together and realizing our power. And so I really took that from that movie, and there was one point in the movie that really stood out to me when, after they found the laboratory for the first time, they came out of this other door, right? And they came into a club, right? And the club was playing music, and there was like music mind control. And I really think that's important because we have to look at what we're watching and what we're listening to, because this music today, we know who owns the music industry. Yet we still sit here and listen to these artists like they have our best interests in mind, okay? We understand there are still ghettos. There are still people doing bad, and they will do anything to get some money to get out of those situations. Now, can we blame them for wanting to do this? You can't. You have to have, a soft eye towards these artists who will sell out and say anything just to make money, but we have to understand that a lot of people are still going through things and will do anything to get that money. And that was put in place for a reason, because that gives them some control over what is played to us, okay? So the fact that they walked into the club, and then the music started playing, and then they were controlling the people with the music, that is just like what they're doing in real life for real. And if we don't stop supporting these artists with these crazy lyrics and with these just trash lyrics, if I have to say, we don't stop supporting these people, we're gonna continue this legacy of 50 years of hip hop and rap and stuff like that, which it needs to stop. Okay, we are intelligent people and we have a clear and clean voice, and our women don't. We have beautiful women, beautiful bodies, but we don't have to portray in a way that's super sexualized. Like, are we over this yet? Can we be over this? Can we be over all of this profane music is what I want to say. Anyway, so they walk to the club and it's all, the control of the music, but when they run out and then the people stop pursuing them because the music stopped, and they're like, oh, so what do we do now? And then the white guy comes and he was like, I control you, and the only reason why I won't kill you is because there's someone higher up than me that has to call the shots, right? So the fact that he said that, it gives me sympathy for our community who have voices but don't use them, because they really might just be fearing for their lives. The fact that Jamie Foxx was in this movie and produced it, right? And he was like right there on the scene when it happened. He was in the Django, right? A slave movie and stuff like that. And who's not to say that, one, he maybe didn't know the true identity of Black community at the time, or two, he was just in contracts that he could not get out of and he had to do it, and that shined the light on showing that some of these people in prominent places don't necessarily have the voice to speak out. Some really have been silenced, okay? But I haven't been silenced. And I won't be silenced because God is protecting me. And so I say this proudly. I'm an American Indian, and our whole community has been lied to and told that we're Black or African American, and it's just not true. It's not true. And that's why we're in this days of a daydream, because we keep going through the same issues and the same problems because we're looking at them to tell us who we are and what we need, when that's just not the case. It's not going to happen. We're going to have to come together and figure out who we are and what we need as a people. Okay. And I'm going to start calling out these higher ups, because as a community, I feel our community, and I understand that we're looking for leaders to tell us what's going on and who we are. And there are people with huge audiences and huge voices who still claim that we're from Africa or keep up that narrative. And it's just not true. Okay. And maybe they do have someone on top of them who silenced their voices. But if their voice was not silenced, and they choose not to tell their people who they are or what's going on, there's going to be some problems. Okay. And one thing that I really liked about the movie was that, in the end, the trio, they were like, we are going to stop this. We are going to stop this. We are going to make friends with the enemies of our same skin tone. Because why are we fighting anyways? We're going to make friends with them, and we are going to come together and we are going to blow this thing up, and let's keep going in every city. And that is the power that we all could have if we really came together as a community and really understood what happened to us. Okay. And that we've been lied to. We are some of the most smartest, educated people. Okay. And even if we have been miseducated by our system, we can still critically think about situations and get out of them. Okay. So I'm not saying that, the whole world, that we got cloned or anything. But I am saying there have been extreme social experiments that have happened to our community, to the American Indians. And one of them is just not telling us who we are and telling us that we are something that we're not, that we're from a place that we're not from. When we know this is home. We love America. You know, when you look at certain gangs in different cities, and I used to wonder, I'm like, why are they going so hard for this block? Why is this block so important to them? And then it hit me like, they probably got ancestors from hundreds and hundreds of generations who have lived in this area, and they feel that. You can feel the land that you're living on. You can feel your ancestors talking to you, you know? So I just, I thought that once. I was just like, why do these gang members go so hard for these blocks? It's like one block that they own. But if we really understood that we shouldn't be fighting the other block, okay, we should be fighting the intruders of this whole land and not each other, maybe we can move forward. So that's what I got from the movie. Definitely want you to see it. If you have not seen it and you actually watch this without seeing it, it's okay. Go and watch it. Share with your family and friends, because I do believe that there is a bigger message in this, and I want to hear what you took out of it, because everyone takes out something, and I believe that we can all learn together learn together and really take other little nuggets out of this too. All right. And that's it I have for y'all. Be blessed and have a good one.